stop being a bitch.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, bro. Here we go. Oh! I hadn't done that since. Oh, man.
Can't nobody hang with me.
All right, man. Yo, shout out to Myers Leonard, bro. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Before we get into that, Lemon City Live is brought to you by Magic City Highlight. Magic City's 2020 season started May 1st and will run through the end of November. For now, the court will stay closed to the public. You'll be able to watch all the games in real time on YouTube on the Highlight channel. So if you need a sports fix, we highly recommend that you. Highlight channel also has a ton of other original content to help you understand the game and get you more familiar with the players in the league, like Tenard Davis, who can't hang with your boys over here, chugging them beers.
Yeah.
So if you want to see Tenard Davis chug a beer, just go to youtube.com/highlight channel, spelled JAIALAI, just like on his shirt right there. Channel. It's free to subscribe, and you'll never miss a moment of the action.
Yes,
Yeah.
Titty, I want you to talk to us. How do you like our chugging skills, bro?
Y'all didn't do that bad. I'm not an expert at chugging. So when I saw that and I saw the Heat player chugging with you guys, I was pretty impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
That I probably would have choked on or drowned. Y'all boys did a great job, man. I need to do more of that. I need to do more like little skits like that, man.
We got you, bro. When was the last time you chugged a beer? That's what I want to know.
I haven't chugged a beer like that, like probably since college.
Damn.
Man, you gotta have a special talent for that. You really do. You just like it ain't just like fucking throwing a football.
Yeah, man. You gotta
have that throat. It's like a hot dog eat competition.
Yeah, you gotta open up the throat. Open up the throat. Don't forget to cup the balls.
Yep. What are you talking about, man? We're talking about drinking beers, bro. You know, switching directions like completely.
Well, I'll say this much, man. So Gus and I Gus came up with the idea, we're just gonna chug the beer. That's the whole show. We sign off, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. I was like, all right, so we did the whole thing. I got my beer ready, popped it, and as soon as we got the go, you saw me, bro. I hadn't done that since Matt Easy. Before that, military, when I was in the Navy. So it had been a long time. And funny enough, today I was telling Gus, I realized this a little while ago. Mm-hmm. Today, 17 years ago today, was my first day at boot camp.
Damn, doesn't that make you 17 years ago?
I can have a full-grown kid who's graduating high school,
Bro, 17 years and 70 pounds ago.
Hey.
Hey, don't kick the man while he's down, bro. Come on now.
Well, he ain't down. Everyone's living a good life.
I'll tell you.
Somebody posted something on Twitter, I think last week, and they said this is this day in 1942 when Frank Gore actually signed with the 49ers.
Yeah.
I had to put it on my story. That was so funny.
I tell you, bro. That was good.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, and it's funny because 17 years ago today, and it's probably been about 15 years since I shotgunned a beer. And I was legit. I was telling Gus right before we went live, I'm like, bro, I'm scared I'm gonna throw up right as we do this. Like, I haven't done this. This is stupid. What am I doing? Gus is like, oh, I got my bottle. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna try to do it like this guy. I got the can. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna spill beer everywhere. But I was pretty impressed that, like I told Gus, the little Frank the Tank that I still have in there, he was going.
Oh yeah.
He's like, he's like, we're back. we're back. And I'm like, no, we're not. This is one time only. And
no, we went streaking right after the show ended. Edwin and I went streaking through the quad into the gymnasium. It happened.
With mask.
With mask, of course. But I only wore the mask around my private areas.
Yeah, you know.
Gus, where's your mind at, bro? Like, you're going gutter, man. You're getting gutter the first minutes in the conversation, bro. What you got on your
gutter balls McGee is what they call me.
He's got the shirt, man. He's got the shirt, so he feels empowered.
Yeah, it's, Heat basketball starts tomorrow, so I got my Big 3 shirt on.
I see that.
That's my Big 3 shirt.
Speaking of basketball, too, y'all see how Jordan, the official brand of the NBA going into 2021?
No. What is it? I didn't see it, no.
No, so Michael Jordan is going to be the official brand for the basketball jerseys.
Oh.
I think he's doing it for, not all of them. I think it's for,
2021.
What's that?
2021.
But for all the jerseys? For
all those jerseys. They're going to finish out the season from what I saw when they posted it on, I think, Bleacher Report.
Uh-huh.
They're going to wear some now, but going into 2021 they're going to start wearing the basketball jerseys as with the Michael Jordan logo.
All right.
I'll tell you,
it was only inevitable that Jordan was going to eventually be on the patch, man.
Of course.
Well, I saw that some team. So I know, for instance, today the Atlanta Hawks released their new uniforms.
Yeah, I saw that.
But only one of them has the Jordan logo. The other two have the swoosh. Yeah. I heard that they're gonna do. I don't know if that's news to me. I didn't know. And if it is, I'm not surprised. But if they all of them are gonna.
And it said this is the official brand going into the 2021 season, and they made a meme about the Pistons, like Jordan making a face, saying that I'm on your jersey now.
Yeah.
Business.
Nice.
So I think that'd be dope personally. Oh, Jordan, Jordan is basketball, man. Like, why not?
Nah, for sure, absolutely. And it's just one of those.
The alarm system is doing like smoke alarm, man. Is that you, Gus? That smoke alarm beep?
Yeah, I think so.
Bro, Gus is immune to that noise. That thing's been going off for 5 years.
That shit would drive me fucking crazy.
Hold up.
You heard it?
You can't do nothing about it now. Leave it on. No. That part. Come back, man.
See, Manuel's got the right idea here. Great show. Saw the chug live. No foam, all liquid. Thank you very much. And he's wearing a mask in his picture. I like that.
Good job, Manuel.
But dude, true story, man. Right after we went live yesterday or on Friday, after we did that, I don't do this stuff anymore. So as soon as I slammed it, I was like, oh, bro, I had this horrible bubble right here. Just this bubble, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I was gonna throw up or if I was gonna actually just needed a burp. And 5 minutes later, I was just sitting there and I'm like, whoa, there it is.
I put you on the spot, Gus. I'm sorry, bro. You didn't have to lead it.
No, actually, what happened is I looked at my computer and I saw that the battery was at 5%, and I looked and it wasn't plugged in. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go plug that shit in.
Yeah, that would have been.
Well, Iris is here. I'm used to the alarm. You don't hear it anymore when you live there.
Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's still, even though you don't hear it, just pop in one of those little square batteries, man.
Once I hear it the first time, it just ruins my entire day the rest of the day. I gotta go get that thing.
But yeah, man. Big thanks to Myers Leonard. He actually liked and shared, or did he retweet? I know he liked and he commented.
Yeah, he retweeted it.
Okay.
He liked and retweeted it, and then on the Instagram post, he liked and commented on it.
He gave us the official hands,
the hammer. Yep.
Let's try to get him on the show.
Yeah, bro. Gus reached out. Let's see, bro. I'll do it again. I'll do it again if he comes in here and he wants to go live. I'll try and do it. Although he's been doing the rounds when it comes to this whole beer chugging thing. He's becoming kind of like a little
burnt out. He's gonna be burnt out.
He's burnt out, but not just that. He sounds like a fucking pro, man. I don't know. It's kind of insulting to go up against him, I don't know.
Maybe we should chug a beer every day until he joins us, in protest.
Whoa. But that's brave, man.
I like it.
That's brave.
We
gotta get one of the local breweries to sponsor us.
But
what?
That's the good setup. You're doing instead of a hunger strike, you're doing a beer chugging strike.
Exactly. I'm ruining my liver for Lemon City. See, I'm committed.
You know what we were thinking about doing? A group chug every Friday happy hour show. We're thinking maybe fill up the whole feed and just everybody slams one down together, and then.
But I played on Friday, so.
Yeah. Well, say, bro, if next Tuesday, if you want, I'll grab one right now, man. You want to do this again? I'll do this right now. Just saying, bro.
I was like, what the hell?
Hey, shout out to Dennis for making the dope ass video too, man. When he slows it down and you hear me go, right?
Yeah, it did.
I feel every time I watch it, I laugh.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah, man.
Good to be back.
Yeah, bro. We hadn't seen you in like a month, man.
Well,
I
did came on. It was like really short. Like we had the young, beautiful woman from the Miami Dolphins.
Yep. When Jennifer was on.
Right, I can't remember her name. And I came on briefly, but it was her show. That's why I didn't want to.
I got you, bro.
I said it feels good to be back, man. I miss you guys. Y'all guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm listening to the show after y'all guys get done. The content is great. Proud of you guys. I think
man.
this new platform you're using with the board. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. The platform we're using with this thing, Edwin. Good job finding this, bro. Seriously, it is like it makes it's always. You know what I'm saying? We're far, but we're close.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that this is something that was really good on your end, man. Great job, man.
I appreciate it, man. I honestly, I've said it, man. This thing has been. It was real easy to because for those people that have been, following the show for as long as we've been doing it, man, we've been doing it for quite a few years now. And the one thing that I always, always, always love the most about our show, and the one thing that I always wanted to stay away from was splitting up us as a group. Because one thing we always did, every single episode we ever did was always at least Gus and I, or myself and someone, or Gus and someone. There was always at least a couple people, or if not, and that's like 90, that was maybe like a fraction of them. 99% of the time, it was always the three of us, always face to face together. The times that you were out in LA doing your NFL Network stuff, we would phone you in. I remember taking an Uber ride with you to the studio one time on the phone. So. But we always had that chemistry when you can see each other and you can talk and you can continue. It's much better. It's the quality is 100 times better when you do it like that, as opposed to doing like these online Zoom meetings that people have been doing for a long time. Mm-hmm. With this, I feel like it's such way better quality because you don't really miss the beat, and I'm seeing you guys instantaneously in high quality where it really feels like I haven't seen you, TD. I haven't physically seen you since March, my friend. That's how long it's been. I see Gus on the regular. So, but it's been so long since I've actually seen you in person. But because we've been doing this show like this, man, and we didn't miss a beat. The moment this shit went down, we transitioned to this, and we've been able to make it work. And it's seriously, it feels like I just saw you, even though I haven't seen you in a month, on here. But the fact that we've been able to do this, like, man, it's been the biggest. Like, it would have been real easy to mess it up, It
made us have to rethink our strategy on creating content, continue to be involved in sport, and we got to give credit to you, bro. Like you came up with it, so
I don't
get credit for nothing. It's hard for me to see, like it's hurting my tongue to even say it right now.
I know, man.
But you did you coming up with this, we didn't skip a beat. And Gus, you still do the editing and stuff. And I do my part when it comes to just being engaging and talking about sport. On my part, but I miss you guys, man. I really did, man. I feel lost not being able to talk about current, being sick, sucked. Like ass. It made me put more things in perspective of the things I have, that's tangible, that I can still touch and be enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, great job, guys.
Let me ask you, in your time off, what happened sports-wise that maybe you heard us talking about that you disagreed with, or that we didn't talk about enough? Was there something that you were like, damn it, I want to tell these guys something? And
everything you said, Gus. I mean, Edwin. Everything you said, man. Like, it's like it was one night I was listening and I was like really sick and I wanted to like Gus, Edwin, like what the fuck are you talking about? But like
probably me.
Like y'all have it that night, man. Just go ahead, man. It's you said it from the beginning. We're factually and factual.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when you start spilling your whatever you got going on in your head, it's hard for me to make you change your mind unless if I have hard proof. So the last thing I'll do is call in and say, Edwin, this is what I got, and you're full of shit. I'm not for the burn no energy, and you have my temperature go from 100 to like 105.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I needed, man.
That's facts. That's big facts right there, man.
Big facts. But you know what, man? You're back. You're up and running. So let's get into it, man. We've there's been a lot of actually. Okay, you know what's something I want to talk about because you're here, and I was kind of waiting for you to be here. So college football in particular, and we spoke about coronavirus in sports with MJ last week, where back when this whole thing started in March, it was a month after the Super Bowl, and NFL was so far away, and NFL was like, you know what? By the time it gets to us, things will be better. We'll have things figured out. We'll have a better idea. We don't have to worry yet. We'll push back the draft. We'll do some considerations and stuff like that. But what happened? We didn't get it figured out. Every sport has suffered. Everybody, people are constantly getting sick. This thing has become. We've fallen behind. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. We've fallen behind. Other countries have moved ahead of us when it comes to dealing with this. Doesn't matter who you blame for it, but the point is we're not where we thought we would be at this point back in March. Yep. And because of it, the NFL right now is kind of like, yo, man, we are in the same spot that we were in March, but now it's our turn. What are we going to do? They're panicking. A bunch of guys are testing positive. It's going to be real hard to social distance a sport that has 50-something players on the field, 11 guys, on every play, or 22 players plus referees, plus all this, locker rooms. It's going to be a challenge, and they're trying to figure it out. But what I wanted to ask you is, with NFL players, you have, if they figure something out, a bubble, players are going to get paid. There's still money involved. But when it comes to college sports, there is none of that. The league, the SEC and the ACC is not going to create a bubble, for the season to go on, because these aren't paid athletes. These are student athletes. So they've I'm really seeing it like I don't think we're going to have college football this year because
Well, we're going to have college football is what conferences is going to play. And that's where people are getting the misconception of like, we're not going to have college football. NCAA doesn't control the conferences. All they do, they govern like the student athletes and all the programs and the policies and all that stuff. Okay. Each individual conference can dictate what they want to do. And it's the commissioner of that conference. So they talk to the head coaches, they talk to the athletic directors, and they figure out a game plan, a constructive game plan in order for them to conduct their season. Now, the one thing they will lose, and that's inevitable, is the money. You're going to lose because you have no fanfare and you have no stuff, but you're still creating football and they're still going to get their TV money. That's the one thing they will get is their TV money because they're playing the games. So that's what they're trying to figure out. Now a bubble. Now, most colleges, they're not too far away from each other when it comes to like logistics, flying each, the East Coast and West Coast. So they can pick a mutual site that all teams can get to and they can all play there instead of each team going to each stadium, because they can control the environment there. You can control the cleaning, you can control who comes in and out, and you can control the testing. So where it's going to get tricky at is like, okay, before you play the game, each player has to test every week. If any player test is positive, they automatically can't play, and then you have to do a rapid test, that 15-minute test, because you have two tests. You have the rapid and you have the one that goes with the nostrils. The one that you fail with the nostrils, you fail that, you automatically out. But the whole team has to get tested again, everybody who passed at the stadium with the rapid test. And then once they pass that, I think college football can happen. That game can happen. And that's how I think you can govern it. Because this is hitting a moving target. Like nobody can get a grip on how to conduct their organization or college team with coronavirus.
Yeah.
So they have to adjust their ways of testing in order to have football or basketball or whatever sport when it comes to college be played.
Let me ask you this though. When it comes to that, so for instance, the knee-jerk reaction that a lot of these conferences have had initially has been, oh, we're going to go to a conference-only schedule.
Yep.
But when you really think about it, okay, let's just take your alma mater, the Hurricanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's safer for them to go all the way up to North Carolina and play UNC or Tallahassee and play the Seminoles, but it doesn't make sense. It's not safe for them to play FIU, for instance, who's out of conference. You get what I'm saying? Or to have played, let's say, even the Gators, if they were playing the Gators this season or something like that. Like, to me, just sticking to a conference-only schedule doesn't do anything. Like, there's no prevention. There's no health benefit at all to doing that. Yep. To me, that just seems like we're just saying that. So
no.
Something.
It is something does kind of comes out of it, because you got these guys who are seniors that the NCAA hasn't guaranteed no one eligibility going into 2021.
Yeah.
So these seniors who want to play, who want to produce on the field, I feel like the conference can play double up games. You play your teams, each team's twice. You one away and one home, so you can kind of get a roundabout on who won that conference.
Okay.
And you can create a playoff scale. See, this is where I'm saying, like, where the commissioner and the athletic directors are talking at individual conference. So to create some type of fair play in order for who can dictate who won the conference, and also you giving these college students, who the seniors or the fifth-year seniors, an opportunity to play their last year. But you have to have a comprehensive and a structural way of testing. That's the most important thing. So, like I mentioned a second ago, and I hope this idea is actually out there. You do the first test that takes about 3 to 4 days. That's through the nasal, and then if anybody tests positive that week going into the stadium, they take a rapid test for the players who did not test positive, and see whoever tests positive with the rapid. The rapid test takes about 15 minutes, so you'll know. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. Now, say for instance, you go from 70 players to like 40 players because like all these players out. That's where it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, okay, how do we play this game? Because we got 40 players, so you got to count injury, and you got to count cramping, and you got to count every little spectrum that comes with the sport of football or basketball. Then it kind of takes away on like the fact that the integrity or the quality of the game.
I mean, that's how they used to play it back in the day.
Like when?
You know what I'm saying? Dudes played both offense and defense. I could see somebody having to do that this season.
Got to go to your Pop Warner day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, to answer your question, Edwin, I personally think we're going to have football. Not every conference is not going to play. We might be watching the Pacific 12 or some small conference. The MAC. We may watch them play. We may get entertainment, or you may not have the Big 12. You may not have the Big 10. You may not have some other the WAC. You know what I'm saying? So you just don't know, man. Like this is why the commissioners right now of each conference are getting paid the big bucks. They got to figure out what works for their conference. And NCAA, all they're doing is sitting back and waiting to see what they're going to do, because the NCAA has no say on what these campuses or colleges can do. They have no say.
Well,
what I think is that by each conference choosing to play conference only, they have more control over the regulations and the procedures that go about in each game day. Because if you're gonna play out of conference schedule at another school's stadium, you don't really have control over what they're doing. But having it be conference only, you do have a little bit more control. I agree with Edwin that it doesn't really do anything if you're having to travel to another state. It doesn't really make a huge difference. you're not really creating a bubble. But if let's say if you make every team literally live in a bubble where like, all right, you have to provide your football players in one of your dorms, they get a floor and only they can be in that floor, nobody else, kind of thing. And you make it so that it has to be enforced by security and all that shit. It's gonna take money. And that's why I think only the bigger conferences will be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
But if they can do something like that to actually create a bubble, then maybe it's possible.
They're not going to be able to create a bubble because of what you just said, the money part. The only teams that can do that, and the only conferences like the ACC, the Big 12, like guys who they have like billions and billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. One point you said something I couldn't remember. I can't remember what I was trying to say, but it's going to be very important that whatever conference does play college football, they do it right, because you're risking, from what I was reading when it comes to this COVID-19, that it's other underlying health issues you have down the road, and you negate to educate these players. Okay, the risk that you can have stuff down the road 10, 15 years later, we can have lawsuits coming out just because of the fact that I wanted to play college football, but you didn't give me all the warnings, like the concussion, like this. Now, again, remember, this is a moving target. No one understands COVID, but I think each conference should do a CYA and have, I know it's going to suck, but you got to have these kids sign waivers. You got to have these kids understand, like, okay, if you get sick and then something comes down, like down the road, we're not liable. You want to play your senior year? You want to get this film? You want to get ready for the next level? All right, sign this waiver and hold us not liable for negligence on the behalf of our conference and our college. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Or the NCAA too. The NCAA probably is going to have oversight on that.
Well, I just think, I get what you guys are saying, but I don't want to, and I know since this whole thing broke down, I feel like I keep being the negative one or the real skeptic one when it comes to all these leagues. When it comes to everything, I know when this whole thing broke out, I told you I'd rather have no sports than bad sports because I thought this was going to be a shit show and this was going to be tough to pull off.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Have you been watching any MLS games?
I have.
Would you rather watch the games that we've been watching or no MLS at all? Honestly, be 100% truthful.
When it comes to MLS, when it comes to MLS, I'd rather not watch any. Not I'd rather not. I wouldn't be disappointed if I didn't have MLS. I'd be like, whatever.
To answer the question, would you rather not have it or have it? You didn't answer the question.
Well, it all depends. Rather not. I'm not a hater of the sport, but if it's gonna be bad and it's not gonna be interesting, and
because MLS right now has not been a great product. No, because of these guys having to take a huge break and then not being able to have a true preseason, and they're not informed, basically. You know what I mean?
It looks late.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
but personally, I'm still enjoy watching the games.
See, it's different because
quality of the sport. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's different because when it comes, like, for instance, with MLS, I'm a fan of the game. I'm a fan of the team. But we didn't have any MLS prior to this. This all broke right when the MLS season started.
Well, from a Miami standpoint.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Miami or MLS, period. No team had played more than a couple of games before the whole season went down.
Okay, I thought you were saying like that Miami didn't have MLS before this.
No, I'm just saying the whole league. So then at that point, to me, if you're going to try to recoup or try to complete a whole season in uncertainty and the product is going to be watered down like it's been and you're going to have all these issues, I'd almost rather not have it. And it goes back to what I said a few months ago. I'd rather not have it than have it bad. When it came to like Premier League, La Liga, and these other leagues that already had played, 80% of their season, 90% of their season, and just needed to finish up their season. Okay, yeah, man, try to push it through, do what you can and everything. And they're also in a different country where they've seem to be further along as far as recovering and things than we are. So it hasn't been as affected and the quality has been better. But now it's like, we're going to try to push through all these MLS games that are crappy quality. Yeah, coming to Florida. I agree. I think it's a challenge, and I think it's a challenge that so far has been failing. These MLS games have been whack. They've been not very good. The quality hasn't been very well. These guys
the traffic goal is pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that was one game. One game. That's it. Not only that, I was excited about the possibility of playing like during the day, but they're having East Coast teams play at 10:30 like they were playing last Friday.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
And then they have East Coast teams playing at 9 a.m. And it's like, okay, now you're all over the place. To me, it's obvious. This is a money grab, and I get it. MLS needs to do this. They need to try to do whatever they can and exhaust every option. Same with baseball, same with basketball, and hockey. Now, basketball and hockey are further along. Baseball is going to try to do this. Like, they're going to try to speed through a whole season in 60. I think it's 70 days. They're going to try to play 60 games, and they're going to hopefully try to get through it. I'm still skeptic about that happening. I'm still skeptic.
I actually like that because each game actually counts now.
Yeah, I think it's a great move to get new fans. If it goes well, I think it could be very exciting. I'm
actually going to watch baseball because it's compressed like that in 60 games compared to 180. Right? They play 180 games.
162.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
Like this is like a sprint.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The healthiest team is going to obviously put themselves in a position to be in the playoffs. The team that avoids getting an outbreak on with the COVID. I know that's the same thing, but I'm talking about injury-wise health, and then the COVID are two separate things. So
yeah. Now, like I was saying though, there's with baseball, this is if it goes well, this could be good for the sport. They can figure it out. They can attract new fans. And with baseball, there's I think 20 something roster spots or 30 players. But you have a big stadium. You can social distance, not only 9 guys on the field and 1 hitting at a time, so you can still pull some stuff off. I don't know how they're gonna do this with NFL or football. Now, Iris over here says that basketball seems to be handling it so well. Again, basketball is 11 guys, 12 guys on a roster, and in a very controlled. This basketball thing and them being able to have a bubble and being able to do all the shit that they're doing in Orlando, they're figuring it out. They've got it down. Same with hockey, but we're talking smaller rosters. It's a numbers game, and the numbers favor sports like that. I can't wrap anything around how they're going to be able to do this when it comes to football on any level.
Football, it's just too many players, man. Too many players on a roster.
They already agreed. NFLPA and the NFL already agreed to not playing in preseason. So that eliminates injury and also the corona social distancing. Now, training camp. They came to agreement. They having a test every day or every other day, if I'm not mistaken. And then from there, it's going to be it's every day. And then once they keep it at a level to 5% of the players or on a team that don't have the virus, then it goes to every other day.
Yeah.
So something just came out on, I believe it was ESPN, that 95 players since this thing has started, not since the COVID-19 has started, have tested positive.
Yeah.
Now, like obviously it's 53 men on the roster, but depending on what city you're in, Florida hotbed, Atlanta hotbed, Arizona hotbed, this is where you got to figure out, do I need to put my team in this city? Do I need to go to another city that, like how with Jerry can go to California, but Jerry's stuck. I know I'm getting out of time. Jerry is in Texas. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and they're gonna have training camp in California. And so they're in two hot zones. So Edwin, to your point, it's gonna be very tough, very, very tough for the NFL to have at least a season that doesn't have doomsday written on it.
Yeah.
Like it can stop any day. It can be 2 games and then the entire season will be canceled because it was an outbreak on 3 teams.
Yeah.
So
I don't see why they don't just. They should pick a town, like a small town with a very small or not a very small population. Maybe a couple towns. Do like what hockey's doing.
Not that easy, bro. Because
numbers game again, bro.
Think about say if you play at a well-known high school.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of money, like they're the best high school in that state, but the numbers are low. It still can't equip an NFL team. You know what I'm saying? Like grass, the locker room. Like it's just certain things that NFL players and NFL organizations they need at their facility in order to have a productive game that is like without the turf coming up or some small things like that. Because for example, when they play at the Hall of Fame game in Dayton, they have issues every year. When I played there, when we played the Buffalo Bills, the locker room was, I felt like I was in a sweatshop. Hot. So, and then you get on the field, it's like you could tell that they're trying to keep up with the times and don't have money to keep up with that field. Yeah. So it's going to be extremely hard for the NFL to have a season without problems because of the contact and the social distance. So I personally see a season, but I'm very pessimistic on if it's going to go all 16 games. Yeah, I don't think 16 games.
I'll tell you right now, man. I don't see it happening. If I'm gonna give me where's the Dalai Lama or the Dalai Lemon? I need to look into my I need to look into my crystal ball here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look into my lemon microphone here, and I'm gonna tell you what I see happening in the future here. Okay.
All right.
I'm seeing the first thing we're gonna see is a delay. I'm gonna do my Walter here. I'm gonna do my Walter. Right. Okay, I'm gonna see a delay on the season. Okay. It's gonna be pushed back. At first, it's gonna be pushed back 1 month. The start of the NFL season is gonna be pushed back 1 month.
So we're going to October.
Let me see what the rest of my lemon says here. It says, "Oh, I see some bad news on the horizon for the NFL." It says it's gonna be pushed back to the spring.
2021?
Of 2021, and then it's gonna get shortened. Oh my God. I'm looking, it's telling me, hold on.
Go ahead, Walter.
It says no season. It's gonna be pushed back, and then it's ultimately gonna get canceled because they're not gonna be able. There's gonna be a wall that they're gonna hit in spring because they're gonna try to push it back to spring. That's the first thing. And then eventually it's going to hit a spot where they can't do it. It's just going to interfere. You're not going to have the college football players are not going to be ready for draft. You're not going to have a player pool for that. It's just going to be too much stuff. They're going to scrap the NFL season for player safety. College players will hopefully get a year back of eligibility. It's going to suck for everybody, but it's just a numbers game. Unless there's a magic cure here, unless we get some great crazy vaccine that comes in, and I'm looking, I don't see it. I don't see the vaccine.
Your ball lied to you on that one because they do have one. They do have a vaccine. They think it's going to be out of.
That's always that would be the dream. That would be the dream. And hopefully that happens. But this is 2020. You know, that's all I got to say. It's 2020.
Yeah, when the virus first started, a lot of analysts were skeptical about any sports being played this year. And they were saying 2021 in spring that they can see some type of opening of sports being back to normal. Yep. And they were kind of like pessimistic with that too because another stream of the virus could have happened in the winter.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to hit a reset button, bro. We're going to hit a reset button. I really see like President Trump got on TV today and said that it's going to get. This is the first time he said it. He said it's going to get worse before it gets better. Yeah. So when he says it, and you know I'm not gonna get into that, but you know when he starts talking like that, it's a problem. It's a problem. So,
and to answer Eben's question here, 6-game season, division games only. Again, it's too small. First off, it's too small of a sample size. It's not enough to be played that merits safety concerns. Players would rather not play that. There's no incentive for 6 games. And the other part of it is, again, here's the benefit of NHL. First off, NHL figured it out. They went to Canada. They got it. That's the first good move they did. They went to Canada and they said, we're going to have a host city in Edmonton and a host city in Toronto. That's where we're going to play all our games. We're going to create a hub over there because there's plenty of ice rinks. There's plenty of space over there. And they seem to have a better grasp of wearing your mask and everything. Bravo for the NHL. Congrats. They figured it out. Oh, Canada. So good job.
Go to Winnipeg. It's nothing in Winnipeg. It's like
Yeah. So it's Toronto and Edmonton. So NHL figured out. Plus, again, it goes back to the smaller roster size, a smaller controlled environment, and it's a numbers game. Numbers work there.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, Orlando, it'll more likely to work there. The problem with the Orlando bubble, which we've discussed on the show, is that it's a bubble, and the participants on the teams and the players and coaches and everybody have to stay in the bubble. But you know who doesn't stay in the bubble? All the staff. The staff, everybody who's working, who's facilitating, who's cleaning your room, bringing you your food and everything. So there's still a risk that something can get in because of negligence. There's people out there. We've seen it. There's negligence all over the place.
But that being said, it's worked out for the NBA so far because they have 0 positive tests and
their probability their probability is still high. Now with football, you can't create an environment that can house that many people, that many teams. Like you said, it's a logistic.
I mean, what are they gonna do? The only thing they could really do is have all the players like stay at the stadium like the entire time throughout the whole season, and that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Sorry guys, I just thought about this. I thought this. So training camp.
Yeah.
Training camp is not actually held at your facility. You go offsite.
Yeah.
Technically, that's kind of a bubble. Now, if they can enforce that, meaning that if they can enforce the hard rules on wearing your mask, social distancing, cleaning behind yourself, and the NFL does the testing protocol correctly, I think that can work. Now, they stay at training camp. They can't go back home. So they be at training camp for all 16 games. You can control. I know it's tough, but that's a bubble right there itself. Because I remember we couldn't leave until after the first week of training camp. And after we could have went home when we come back. But if they can control it that way and say, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're staying at this location the entire year, and this is how we're going to conduct the 16-game season. Your family has to understand, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's the only way I think football can have a legit chance of being a season this year. If they do that kind of bubble.
I agree, but that's it. One thing is asking people to go to a bubble for a playoff run where your bubble stay could be a week or it could be 2 months, because depending on how far your team goes, but you have an incentive.
But that's a good problem. That's a good problem to have if you're in the playoff.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. You're asking NBA guys to get into a bubble for a maximum of a couple of months if their team makes it all the way to the finals and stuff like that. So that's more acceptable because some people are like, okay, I might be out of here in a week and I'll be okay with that if, my team's not that good. And hockey, the same thing. But with football, you're asking people to do a whole season. If let's just say everything logistically it worked out, but your team is like, 1-10, and you're like, bro, I have nothing to play for. I'm still stuck in this bubble. I haven't seen my family in 12 weeks. We're talking 3 months now. My season's in the tank. I'm injured. I need to get out of this training. I need to go home. Like,
but that's when it's too long. Like when your team is 1-10, and you're technically eliminated from the playoffs, they can. This can be a recipe too, because remember, this is a moving target. Everything is unprecedented. So the NFL can change their ways on how to eliminate teams, like what the NBA did. They didn't invite anybody who wasn't going to make the playoffs to the bubble. So the NFL can say, okay, your team is 1-5. Your team is 1-9. This team is 2-8, and you have no chance of making the playoffs. You're like obviously eliminated. Automatically, they should just cancel their whole season and then let the teams that are playing play. And then the teams that are supposed to play those teams automatically get a win in order. I know that sounds crazy. I know. But what I'm trying to say is that
or they could play each other.
If we're going to have a football season, NFL season by that, a lot of rules have to change. And we forget about free agency. Like when somebody gets hurt and you bring in somebody to replace that guy, do you put him on a 2-week quarantine because he hasn't been on the team?
Mm-hmm.
What has he been doing?
I got an idea. I think I just figured it out.
That's what we do on this show.
Here it is.
That's what we do.
Yeah, we're GMs. That's what we do.
All right.
Okay. I got it, bro. I got it. What if I told you, okay? What if I told you, just like the ESPN for 30, you can either try to do this cagazón of a season right now, this whole fucking mess right now, or what if I told you that in 2021 you can have 2 seasons, a year-long football with a break in the middle. But you'll increase player safety. You won't have think about this. Season runs September, October, November, December usually, right? Up until January. So we're talking 4.5 months. If we were to do this, let's say they push this, let's say right now they made an executive decision. Look, realistically, logistically, it's not looking like there's going to be a remedy anytime soon. Let's push the season back till March, okay? Let's push the season back till March of next season. By February, we'll start our training camps. We'll start our stuff. Now, there might be some, between now and then, there might be some off-season workouts and stuff like that, some of that stuff. But as far as official team activities will start, let's say February. By February, the idea is that hopefully we'll be closer to a vaccine, closer to a peak in these cases and everything. You run the season from March, April, May, June to like July timeframe. I know it's taxing, but maybe you do a shorter season instead of the full 17 that they're going to play this season. Or what is this? Is this season the 17 or is this season the 16?
17.
17. So let's just say, let's say we do a 12-game season or a 10-game season. How many? Okay, so there's 8 games are against your divisional rivals, right? 2, 4,
Yep.
No, 6 games.
6 are, yeah.
6 games. So let's say you double it. Let's say you do 3 games against each team. You alternate, I don't know, something. But let's say you play like anywhere between 10 to 12 games, somewhere in the middle. You know, you have enough for a season. You condense it. You throw in some bye weeks in the middle to give people time because it's real taxing on the body. Again, this is me obviously thinking, ooh, double football. I know this is a huge physical ask for players. But if you do this, then once by the time the season ends and the playoffs are done, you do a quick playoffs. You don't do a long extended playoffs. You do maybe just your division winners. You do a little realignment of some sort. Maybe again, I'm just seeing like this is the path to having successful football. Maybe do 2 divisions and then the top 2 teams are your NFC represent, or maybe just do conferences, something like that. Just conference champions. They go in, you play, you get your 1 season. And then by August of next season, you have 2 months off. By August of next season, you can have your regular full season and you get everything in.
No, it won't work that way, bro. You got to remember, you're banging. You're throwing your arm out. You have the elements of weather. You have family stuff.
Yeah.
And then you may have a situation with COVID still. You may, hopefully not. And you're asking guys to take 2 months off and then go back and play another season.
Well, I'm saying 2 months, but like I have to. Okay, let me think about this. If they run, let's say February, and if they're done by June timeframe, they're completely done with everything. Okay, they've determined a champion. Then you're asking. You get July, August, September. You can push the start of next season back maybe a week or 2 or a month. You know, and then you start working to getting it back on the regular schedule. But I think there's still a way where you can do 2 seasons in 1 calendar year and you make some accommodations. You don't have a full season. I'm not talking 2 16 games. I'm talking, a condensed season where you still have some substance and most importantly, player safety. I think there's less of a threat of COVID or of any of this stuff and a higher probability that you'll be able to complete a shortened season if you push it till next year, to the beginning of next year.
I can speak as a football player, and the wear and tear of an entire season is taxing.
Yeah.
Like you can say, your point makes sense. I see what you're trying to do.
So what would you guys be like if you at the end of a shortened season, like if you guys only played 10 games with like 2 bye weeks? How do you think the athletes will feel after that season?
Just ask a college student. A college student play 10 games, and when some of them check out early. They don't go to Senior Bowl. They start rehabbing. So, and the NFL draft is what? So, say for instance, college football season is over December 1st. They don't play football again, a touch of football, until April.
Combine.
So, that's 6 months, and they still don't feel their body's conditioned for the combine, but they're not conditioned for NFL season. So they got to switch that all over again. So, like, I get what you're saying, Edwin. It sounds logical, but when it comes to something impractical, it won't work because the players.
They would never agree to that.
They won't entertain it because they want more money. They're going to want more money.
Well, and let me ask you: Let me ask you this. I mean, if you were to position it that way where, hey, you have a higher probability of making more money doing it this way than you do of trying to do something here. And the more likely scenario that either A, it won't take off this season, you have to cancel the whole season and wait anyway till next year, or B, that you might attempt to do this all fails, they can't control the virus, and you have to axe the season right at the beginning.
The NFL, every team owner is going to lose money. And you're asking them to lose money because the NFL, if say this, we do push the 2021 do double-double, and that still is not a promising year. And you're asking the NFL, the team, to lose money an entire calendar year. Paying players all year. You're paying these guys millions and millions of dollars. So Russell Wilson, instead of getting $45 million, he's going to get $90 million. But they made the owners are losing $150 million. They won't do it. Like once the owners realize they're losing money, but we're still having football, the money's going to always outweigh it because that's the bottom line.
I'll just tell you this much. I looked into the microphone, and that's what I'm seeing, bro. I think the solution and the path to resolution is going that way.
I think too much of your spit is in that microphone, Edwin.
10-game season, no wildcard. I think it's doable if they push it back to next season. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And they could even start the following season a little later, like in October or something. So
I think I know. And again, Iris also is too complicated. I'm just seeing the vision. Mm-hmm. I just see the vision what the microphone tells me, and the microphone tells me that the path to resolution and the path to salvation is guided into the year 2021 when it comes to football. That's all I'm saying.
It could be. I'm not saying it's that I don't think NFL PA, the Players Association, would agree to that.
Nope.
But I don't think it's impossible. I mean, there were a lot of reports that the NBA Players Association didn't want to agree to what's happening right now, and it's happening. So
yeah,
it's not impossible.
I mentioned this is less players in the NBA, so that an important factor on why the NBA season.
My biggest thing.
More contact, more situations of like not being able to have distancing. That's just all negative.
Well, my whole thinking here is just that I really feel like that the more likely possibility of earning more money. How do you earn money? By playing more games. Mm-hmm. Would be pushing it back than running a risk.
Who's earning more money though?
Huh? I'm talking about the players.
Yeah, but Edwin, this conversation is over once the owner money. The owners are not going to lose no money, bro.
I know they're not going to lose money.
They're not losing money. So if you're telling me to play a 2 season and I'm going to lose $250 million and I make no money. That ain't happening, bro.
Well, I don't think they're not gonna make no money. If you can have a higher probability of playing more games, that's television revenue that they're gonna get in. There's advertising, everything. The only thing they're not getting is people in the fans. And again, if you push it to next year, you have a higher probability. Right now, there's no chance there's gonna be people at the games.
All right. So when you talk about these new contracts or this money, you gotta remember these TV games, they're contracted for that calendar year. So the TV programs like will say, okay, we're going to double up your money because we're getting double up games because they got to go back to the negotiation table. So it's not that easy that, okay, if we play more games, that means we get more money from TV rights. No, because the TV, they start getting paid probably in September when the season starts, not February to July. And then from October to January of 2022. No, it's not going to work that way, man.
I don't think it is by calendar year though, TD.
They're losing money, guys.
There's a fiscal year for the sport.
They're not going to once they start realizing they're losing money, there won't be no football.
But see, that's the thing. I think when this vision that I have here starts coming to fruition, you're gonna be like, okay, and you'll see. Again, I can see into the future, and it's grainy. It's grainy. The future's a little grainy right now, but I see through the grains. I see through it, and I can see some imagery. And what I'm seeing is that resolution is going to come next year. Now, I don't know the finite details. I don't know the financial implications that come with this. But I'm telling you, the resolution is over there.
All right.
You're just shifting the same money you'd be paying 2020 to 2020 on. It will only affect your 2020 tax return. Okay, man. Look, we have a tax guy. That's Evan, my tax guy. He knows some stuff. But anyway, I think it's interesting, and I'm kind of upset because I wasn't looking into this microphone, and back in March I should have looked into this, and if I should have seen myself here, in July having this conversation again, and I'm kind of upset because I feel like I've just wasted all this time. But again, it's a conversation that needs to be had. I think there's going to be some resolution. There's going to be some solutions when it comes to this stuff, and people are going to find a way, and it's going to have to be a creative way.
All I know is that there's a bunch of billionaire owners that are not going to be cool with throwing a season away. That's so much money that they're going to lose. Like you said, TD, once they realize they're going to lose money, they're going to find a way, man. They're going to find a way to salvage something. What that is, I don't know.
And you also remember, Ed, when we had this debate about the owners, the basketball owners paying the concession stand guys and all that stuff. And that's not their obligation to do that. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing goes to the NFL. The NFL owners are going to feel like, okay, we are contracted for this year. I'm not going to push back to 2021 and have a double season and lose money. They're not going to do that. As a player, I wouldn't want to play that many games.
I get again, the physical demand of it is a concern, and that's why I don't think it's 2 back-to-back 16-game seasons. I think there would be an incredible amount of
10 games, Edwin. 10 games.
I think there'd be an incredible amount, but the alternative here is not having a season at all this season and then waiting till August.
So, all right, imagine a team that makes the playoffs. Imagine a team that makes it to the Super Bowl. So instead of ending in, you said in July, that team rolls over to all the way to September.
No. See, again, the whole season would have to become complete under a certain time where it would give enough time for those teams that make it far into a playoff, which would be a shorter playoff. It wouldn't be a wild card, a divisional, a conference. It wouldn't be 4 rounds.
That's
the thing. But the alternative here is that you don't have anything this season, because that's the likely scenario, is that you're not going to be able to do these things that you want to do, like we were discussing at the beginning of the show, because it's a numbers game. And right now, barring any, tomorrow checking the news and seeing that a magical vaccine came out and that, we have a path to some resolution quicker, it's not going to happen. And NFL right now, any type of football, is the probability of it happening is very, very, very small. And if it might happen, it might start, but it will not finish.
Well, I agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying. The alternative is for these owners and these players is like, yo, do we, as it gets closer to that day, like, yo, we got to start making some decisions on this. And if they realize, yo, we're not going to, have a season, we're not going to make any money this season, because of this, or do we try and push it and get creative and do something next year where it's a little higher probability, or do we sit it out and just, scrap it, which I don't think to scrap. That's what I'm telling you. I think they're going to try and do something, and they're going to be creative. It's going to be a creative solution, but I don't think we're going to have a regular 16-game season and my fantasy championship is going to be, screwed up, because it's going to be real hard to defend now.
A lot of people losing money, man. I just can't fathom not having football.
Yeah, I can't either.
I can't fathom not having football.
I feel you. And that part makes me sad. It makes me sad that, we might not have, because even right now, as happy as I am that the Marlins are winning 8-1 right now in the top of the 8th, and that we have some baseball, there's no guarantee I'm going to get a full season. There's no guarantee that they're going to make it through the sprint, because baseball has a similar situation that football has, which is they're trying to encompass a whole season in a shortened amount of time. Baseball didn't get any games. Yeah. Football's not getting any games. They're trying to do a whole season. And on top of that, there's no bubble scenario for baseball, because, again, baseball's just a little bit smaller than NFL rosters. So you have the logistical nightmare. So baseball's taking a risk. They're flying. They're keeping it geographical. So
regional.
They're keeping it regional. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Gus. They're keeping it regional. So the Marlins are playing the Red Sox. They're playing the Yankees. They're playing the Rays. They're playing the teams in their region, both AL and NL. And it's going to be like that across the country. So they're trying to cut down the travel and stuff like that. But again, one little outbreak, and boom, the whole shit goes to.
Is the World Series going to be East versus West or something like that? Like 90s hip hop?
Maybe we'll see. If that's the case, then I think the East Coast has got it.
Thanks.
But I don't know. I don't know what the playoff projections are. I think it might come down to something like that. I have to look. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe if you guys know that are watching. By the way, thanks everybody for the comments, the concern, the questions, and everything. Here's another one. If there's no 20 season, there's going to be a lot of players collecting no income. Yeah, exactly. So that's the alternative.
I feel like some players have guaranteed.
Yeah, but again, with baseball, I'm. There's still a very likely scenario that I might not get a World Series again. You know, the second time in my lifetime, and we said this at the beginning a few weeks ago. Baseball is something that not even a world war was able to stop a World Series from happening. You know what I mean? 2 world wars, a Vietnam War, all these major conflicts. You know, it's the only thing that has stopped. I need that shirt too, bro. Yeah. The only thing that has stopped baseball from having a World Series was labor disputes. 1994. Yep. That's the only time. You know what I mean? That's the only time we didn't have a World Series, and it almost happened again this season.
What a terrible year, 1994.
94 was a dope year for me, though. I like 94. I love everything in the 90s.
All we had was Power Rangers and.
I love 94.
94 was cool. 94 was cool.
But again, so baseball, slightly less risk, but still, it's a crapshoot. They're gonna try to figure it out with all the traveling and hoping that players don't get fucked up.
Yeah.
Soccer, we'll see, man. Basketball and hockey are in the best position because it's gonna be a smaller number of teams that they're gonna have to deal with every week as the tournament progresses, as the playoffs progress.
Soccer too. A bunch of teams. I mean, Inter Miami was already eliminated. They're out.
Soccer, it isn't just this tournament. Soccer is doing the tournament to kick it off, and then they're going to continue into some type of a season. So,
okay.
Miami,
and still in that bubble.
I think so, from what I understand. Yeah. Or they're gonna. I think the plan with MLS is after this tournament, assess the situation,
what's happening,
and come up with an alternative. But they might have to go into the same thing like MLB and football. So. We'll see. Anyway, it's good to talk. It's good to look into the the lemon mic here, and I gotta come up with a name.
We gotta come up with a better name for that, bro.
Yeah, I know.
But apparently, somebody ain't hurting no money because somebody bought LeBron goddamn rookie card for
$1.8 million.
So. The COVID-19 pandemic ain't hurting his pockets. If you can buy LeBron James car for 1 point,
right?
Let me ask you a question: what rookie card would you pay? Whatever your bank account is, you'll pay 30% of your bank account to get that card. What card out there would you pay that amount of money for?
Well, I think
Jesus.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe Moses.
Here's the thing. My bank account, I don't want to disclose, but I'm in no position to be spending 30% of it on anything right now. But I will tell you this. What is I'll rephrase your question and ask it back to you. What's the holy grail of rookie cards or sports cards for you? Because you're a kid. We're both children of the 90s and the 80s, where the baseball cards and the trading card boom happened. Right now, it's not the same as it used to be, but we still know, we have some emotional attachment. Some of us, I know myself, has cards right behind me in an album back here that I can, go into and reminisce and stuff like that. And I know some of you maybe had some growing up. So what is your holy grail? What's that one card that you remember that you used to go back and go, oh man, love to have that? Because there's a few.
So when Desmond Howard was playing at Michigan, and when he won the Heisman and went to Green Bay, I emulated my game after him.
Okay. And
must have, if I ever got hard, like Desmond Howard, either college or Green Bay Packers card, I would have laminated it and attached it somewhere on my body. I want to never. Because I'm still a huge fan of Desmond Howard. I don't know why. It was like I was a kid. I loved everything about him.
Of course.
Swaggy back then. And when he went to Green Bay, and I kind of liked the Green Bay too because they had the receiver. I forgot his first name. His last name was Brooks. 87. I was a huge fan.
Oh yeah. He had the video game. NFL Game Day was
Yeah, I can't remember his
PlayStation was after him.
Brooks, but I was a fan of his because he was like long and he could catch everything like this.
Yeah.
And I Pop Warner. So like those two guys, when Desmond Howard went to Green Bay, I always wanted a rookie card from him. He was my holy grail as a football player.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Is there a card that has Bo Jackson baseball on one side and football on another side?
Pretty sure.
Great question, bro.
Because that would be really cool to have. Like that's the same year, you know what I mean? When he actually played both sports at the same time.
Yeah. I think
That would be
so.
really cool to have.
Doesn't each baseball and football have two different companies they use for their cards, right?
No, they back in our era especially, there used to be throughout all the 80s up until the early 90s, it was Donruss, Topps, Fleer, and I think that was pretty much it. And then in the late 80s, 89 actually was Upper Deck. Basketball cards in particular had an extra manufacturer called Hoops. NBA Hoops was another one that used to make them.
I have a few of those.
And they had a few different ones, but Topps didn't make basketball cards in the 80s. It was weird, but there were then in the 90s a bunch of different companies came out and subsets and inserts, but anything in the real pure days of it, it was very limited. And one of those limited cards that I always wanted was the 85 Fleer Michael Jordan, the rookie card, bro. That was the whole grail. I knew one kid in high school who had one, and he brought it to school.
What?
He brought it to school, and I was like, "Whoa!"
That's crazy.
But LeBron James card goes for 1.8 rookie card.
Yeah.
What is MJ card going for?
Well, here's the thing: that LeBron card in particular is from 2003, which by 2003 the whole industry had changed, and it wasn't. To be honest, it wasn't as good as it was back in the day. There, that like you. Oh, I want that Desmond Howard. I would love that Bo Jackson. By 2003, it was a hobby for collectors. It wasn't a thing that you did as a kid anymore. You couldn't afford it. To get the pack where that LeBron rookie card, because it's not just his generic rookie card, it's a special insert card that had a piece of his jersey and his autograph from his rookie year, and it's a very rare card that they only made a few of them. And if you saw the post on ESPN, LeBron commented on, he says, I also have a couple of these cards. So, he's banking on himself. So with that being said, the hobby was way different. In 1985, there's one Jordan rookie card, and that's it. It's that Fleer, 85 Fleer, and you have to have that one Jordan card. And the value of it, because obviously it's older and it's harder to find, is higher, but it doesn't have that collector's value. Like, I don't think you'll get $1 million for it, because you can still access. Really quick, I saw this. If I find the video, I'll find it. But I was on one of those YouTube dives where I was just watching video after video, and I came across a guy who spent something like, I think you can still buy packs of that 1985 set because it's so valuable that people still have the box sets and they still have the packs, and you can pay something like close to $100 maybe for like a pack, just to get the possibility of getting the Jordan card. You know what I mean? So anyway, this guy had gone on his YouTube video. He had sourced a bunch of money and had bought like I don't know how many packs, hoping to get the Jordan rookie because he wanted to feel that feeling again of opening it in a pack, getting it and going, holy shit, and then getting it graded and, see the value. And the video I watched on YouTube, dude packed a Jordan rookie card. After a few tries, he packed a Jordan rookie card, which is an awesome feeling. I think to me, that's so cool. Like, whoa, like that's awesome. And that was the Holy Grail card.
And he get all once he sell it again. All the money he's packing the cards, he'll sell that card and get all his money.
Yeah. The investment paid off. Also, that 85 set had a bunch of other good rookie cards like John Stockton, I think, Karl Malone.
That was a great class.
Yeah. So there was a bunch of them. And anyway, but that video.
Do you actually have any cards, TD?
Did you ever make an NFL card? Do you know?
I don't know. So when you're drafted and you get invited to, I forgot the name of the company that they make your rookie card. That's the only way you get. You have to get drafted. So I wasn't drafted. Play for the Pirates.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
I can see even I can make out your face.
Oh yeah.
What's that guy named? The Big Lebowski.
Look at the name. Look at the name.
Yeah.
I see it.
I got that made at the All-Star game. That's not cool, but it's it's limited edition, one of one here.
It's all good. Mine is in my room.
It's worth 555,000.
It's priceless. I'm never selling that bad boy. But the other Holy Grail card was for the baseball collectors out there. They'll remember the '86 Donruss Jose Canseco rookie was like, bro, that card was iconic growing up, especially growing up, in near the high school where he graduated from, where he was, having that '86 Donruss, which at the time was like $100 card or something. It was like, oh my god, now like probably like 15 years ago, I bought it on eBay for a couple bucks, and it's in that album there. So that whole hobby is not worth anything. It's it's changed a lot. But
is that you actually have that card?
Oh yeah.
Is that the coolest card that you have? Would you say?
Oh man, I got some cool cards that are. I think with a lot of that stuff, anything from the '80s, '90s, other than a very select few pieces from like the '80s, like a Jordan or something like that, a lot of that stuff was so saturated the market with people selling, and there's such an overabundance of cards that the value of it at the time was like, oh, it's gonna be worth a lot of money, Yeah, it's not worth shit. The only shit that's really worth anything is the really hard to find stuff from the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. That's why you see those cards going for millions of dollars, like these weird little cards that came in like a cigar pack in 1920 or something like that. That's where the money is. But for me, the coolest card I got is probably, man, I met Alex Rodriguez when he was a rookie in '96 at Town and Country Mall in Kendall. That was kind of cool.
How is that a card? That's not a card.
He was a rookie, and he was a super hyped up rookie, and he was doing an autograph signing for free. Like he was the guest there. And I remember I walked up to him, and I didn't have anything for him to sign, and some guy had a table like, oh, buy a card and have him sign it, and I looked, and I think I paid like $2 for this Alex Rodriguez rookie card at the time, but it was him in his high school uniform, Westminster. And I was like, hey, Alex, can you sign this? And he was like, yeah, man. He signed it, and that's my little, like, to me, that's the coolest one that I have because of how big he got and the story.
For something high school Alex Rodriguez signed.
Wow. I mean,
you should sell it to J-Lo.
Yeah, especially now that with all the steroid, confessions and speculation and everything, and the steroid tainted his whole legacy. So, but again, it goes back to what I was saying. Like in the '90s, everything was so inflated, man. There was so many people trying to get you to tell you this is going to be collectible. This is going to be collectible, and in reality, it wasn't. Edwin, how much did we drop on Marvel cards back in the day? Marvel cards were big, bro. Those Marvel Universe trading cards, man.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple.
We did the original sets, man. Like 1990, 91 or something like that. Yeah, those are fun, but
that's cool, man.
Anyway,
I have my favorite ones. I have two. One is Allen Iverson rookie card.
Ooh.
And yeah, that one's pretty cool. And I have a Dennis Martinez card that we got at the All-Star game when I had him signed.
Nice.
That was cool.
El Presidente. Actually, what's a real holy grail that I don't have that I should just go on and buy?
Mm-hmm.
I used to have in 1996. I was still kind of a little bit in the hobby. I was obviously in high school, and I had a Kobe Bryant Upper Deck rookie card, and it was him smiling like this, and he had those glasses on over his head. It's a very it's a very popular card from back in the day, and I used to have that, and I fucking traded it. And
for what? What did you trade it for?
I don't know, man. Probably like a Shaq or something. Like that.
You traded for an Italian sub at Subway.
I traded it for a couple of McRibs back in '96, and the rest is history.
No regrets.
No regrets. It was delicious. No, I gotta go back and I'm gonna go on eBay now and see if I can score me that '96 Kobe. If you guys got that Kobe one and you want to donate it, man, holla at your boy.
or see if you can trade it back. Trade it for something else.
Let's trade, man. Let's trade. Who wants to? We'll start a little private group. I'll start posting some pictures over on the Daily Sports Lemonade. By the way, guys, thank you so much for everybody who's contributed to the Daily Sports Lemonade. Daily Lemonade on our Facebook page. everybody who watches, everybody who likes, comments, every single share, all that good stuff that you guys do. We really, really appreciate it. Continue to do so. That's our fuel, our life fuel over here, man. Remember, we're giving you this top-notch production quality podcast here, free of charge, bro. We don't charge you. This is a free service that we do out of our love for each other and our love to share our conversations with you and to keep you busy during this quarantine. So, least you could do is a little share. What'd you say, Tito?
Big video over here.
Bad salesman. We didn't touch on highlight though.
Oh man, okay, go, give it to us. What's going on? I saw you won. I saw you beat a.
We're running close to the end of the show. So all right, so I came back. I won 3 games when I came back, but I only played 7 games.
Ooh, so that percentage is high.
Oh yeah, so 7 on the but I feel good. I feel strong. We got more players that are still out there trying to come back, and we should have a full roster by the middle of August. That's what I'm thinking. But we still having a tournament. So our boss Scott made an abbreviated tournament just with Magic City players, and it's going to be Saturday. And the teams are going to be, I may be wrong, but it's going to be Bueno and LA. It's going to be me and Anderluck. It's going to be Kubala and Tennessee. And it's going to be Kenny and Run and Carballo and Ben. So those are the lineups. And we're going to play a doubles tournament where prizes are involved. It's actually at 8 p.m. prime time Saturday night on the highlight channel.
So watch it on YouTube.
Excited for it because I think the matchups are pretty good. I don't want to call anybody out. I know who the weak links are. I know who the struggle. But me and Anderson have a strong team. Ben and Carballo have a strong team. And then I think Kubala and Tennessee have a strong team. So I'm excited about it. I think we're going to have a good time. We're going to give them a great highlight. And the season is been kind of compromised with the coronavirus, and people not being able to come and see us play. But highlight is still going, and we're giving everybody a great show. So hopefully everybody can join on Saturday, 8 p.m. and watch some highlights.
Hell yeah, man! I'll be watching.
Actually, I'm trying to, if I'm not mistaken, I think I just posted it in the chat there. So you guys watching, make sure.
There you go.
That's the link to the highlight channel on the YouTube page. So that's where you can get all the live streams. If the link doesn't work, just tell me. And if not, just search Magic City Highlight on YouTube and you'll see everything there.
No, it's not even Magic City Highlight. You got to go to the highlight channel.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying if you search there, you'll see everything and the highlight channel pops there, or just search highlight channel. Yeah.
Because we did have a Magic City Highlight, and it shows all our first year games. So I don't want to people may get confused on, why I'm not seeing highlight.
I got you.
The highlight channel actually starts showing our current games at this particular year.
Yeah, well, the link I shared was directly for the highlight channel.
Perfect, man. We're good.
I'm already subscribed there.
I'm back, baby.
Make that money, bro. I saw you have that cool little keychain with your little highlight setup, bro.
One of the refs made it for me because he respects me. He's like, yo, a little Asian guy named his name is Robin. He's like, I don't want to be rude, but I can't talk. I like you a lot. I really look up to you, and I made this for you. I was like, man, I like that, bro. I appreciate that.
That's what's up.
The conversation say, can I work out with you? Can you help me get skinny? I was like a bride, man. Because he's a little heavy set and he wants to lose weight. So he felt like giving me a little cesta was like a barter agreement. I go train. I was like, nah, bro, I ain't work that way. I need cash. I ain't been playing.
But anyway, guys, be sure to check out the Daily Lemonade. We have a bunch of cool stuff up there. Check out the highlight channel. Subscribe to it. And while you're there, subscribe to Lemon City Live so you don't miss any of our streams. You can watch on YouTube. You can also watch on Facebook. Whatever your flavor is, we got you covered.
Yeah, man. And I got a Heat article dropping this week, so make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Oh, that boy articles now.
Do it all, baby. We do it all. But I think it is time, though. I think it's time to start winding it down here. I know TD's getting back into game shape, so he's,
up at 6:30 in the morning. Gotta work out, bro.
Yeah, I see your IG story, bro.
sick, but I'm still like thinking about how can I get better. I'm crazy. Something's wrong with me, man. Sure.
Yeah, bro. I'm
Hey,
sleeping.
competitive, bro. Competitive.
Problem, and I have a workout problem. I can't not stop working out, bro. And I don't think that's a problem.
No, for sure, dude. You're pretty intense when it comes to that. I watch your stories 6:30 a.m. Waking up at like 5 something, then at the gym at 6. I'm like, no, bro. I'm sleeping. I see these videos 2 hours later. I'm like, bro, no. But anyway, TD, happy to have you back, brother. Always, and it's good to see you back up to speed and feeling better. Gus, 214 episodes in a row. Congratulations.
Hey, we won't be who we are without you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys.
Enjoy. And other than that, guys, we're trying. We'll see Friday's happy hour show. We might have. It might be a musical Friday happy hour show. I'm still working that out. Might have a musical guest. If not, we might do a little soccer. We'll do a little something. We got something going on, so stay tuned Friday, and we'll definitely chug some more beers. We'll definitely
wear your mask.
Wear your mask, man. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask.
Fucking, like, cut this curve, man. Like, that's it. Cut it.
Yeah, man. Come on. I want to get football. I want to get football back. I want to go see Highlight in person. I want to see these things. I need my life back. Wear your mask, man. Okay? Stop complaining about all this shit.
Yes.
So,
yes.
It's an inconvenience that's this big. So just shut up and wear it. Anyway, guys, I love you. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching. Share, do all those things. We love you, and we'll see you on a